Hello, hello. Well. Oh, the shit show carries on, eh? I think we peaked, everyone. I think finally Jazz is going to get what he wanted. We're going to get what we've been waiting for a long time, aren't we, everyone? Mr. Moyes is getting sacked in the morning. That's the only thing I'm happy about today. Oh, shit, Arsenal have just scored. But anyway, he's getting sacked in the morning, isn't he? Mr. Moyes is getting sacked in the morning. I need to put my chair up. Wow. Total thrashing, annihilation, call it what you want. We were taught a footballing lesson from one of the brightest managers there is around. Even not being on the touchline. He taught David Moyes how to play, how to set the team up so they know what they're doing. How to be competitive, brilliant. Moyes is getting sacked in the morning. David Moyes getting sacked in the morning. Getting sacked in the morning. I'm going to get what I want. Hopefully break through this evening or later on. He's got to be going. Let's see what's happening in the chat. Oh, matey. Bob, hope you're feeling better, matey. Yeah, it's the worst, I think, isn't it? 4-0 win last week. 4-0 defeat today. I think looking at the other scores, I think Wolves have won. Wolves have beaten Spurs. Leeds have lost 1-0. And Arsenal have just scored a 99th minute winner at Bournemouth, which means that in the league tables, everyone, the mighty West Ham United are, fifth from bottom, really. Fifth from bottom. But listen, it's bad. I think this has peaked. Absolutely pathetic, Paul. Embarrassing, mate. We were played off the floor, and this is one of the first times we can say there was no one really who has had a half decent game, isn't it? Usually there's one. I think they're all 3, 4, 5s out of 10, aren't they, at most, or even below? Last week, or Man United, the last game, I said Antonio produced, for me, in living memory, the worst performance from a striker, and Mr. Ben Johnson has just shown the worst defensive performance from any defender I can remember. Mr. Johnson, again, Mr. Moyes, you should have taken him off, mate. The guy was mentally scarred. You should have taken Ben Johnson off. Mitoma, their winger, absolutely destroyed Johnson. And how Johnson can make the same mistake 2-3 times is embarrassing, mate. I'll be surprised if Johnson can make it onto a picture of the West Ham shirt again under David Moyes. I think he's mentally scarred, the young chappie. Absolutely embarrassing, mate. Mr. Carter, hope you're doing well. You have just watched the icing on the cake, my man. Moyes is getting sacked in the morning. He is getting sacked in the morning. That's what you've just seen, mate. It's finally got to that now. You're absolutely right, mate. Even shit has its uses, so you can use it as manure for your plants, for your grass. It's worse. It's actually worse than shit, you know. It's Mr. I don't like Moisey Ryan. He's getting sacked in the morning, isn't he? He's getting sacked in the morning, mate.
He's got to be. He's got to be. He's absolutely got to be. It is ridiculous. I just don't get it. How can we beat Nottingham Forest 4-0 and then go lose 4-0? That doesn't make any sense. But I mean, David Moyes, absolute tactical dinosaur. I actually just don't understand. I just don't understand him at all. I mean, we're 1-0 down. What? We were 1-0 down at half time. Was it 1-0 or was it 2-0 at half time? Actually, I think it was 1-0.
2-0, I thought.
I don't know.
Was it 2-0?
No, I think it was 1-0 half time. I can't remember. I'm just
1-0.
1-0 half time, and we decided to take Ben Rama off, who's been our best player all season. How? Just what? I just don't understand. For 4 nows, has 4 now scored a goal this season, other than in the Conference League?
He's not played in a while, has he? Really?
No, he's
played
awful.
in a while. Yeah.
That's because he's not good enough, though. And then we bring him on, thinking he's going to change the game. And Ben Johnson, he is absolutely terrible. Terrible. Yeah. That thing that Matt sent as well, with his pass completion rate, 35%. How can you do
and
have that? That was ridiculous.
It is. But the thing is, like, yeah, like I was saying, let me just go through the chat and then we'll go through it. But for me, the icing on the cake for me, mate, is that Mr. Moyes is getting sacked in the morning. That's
He
kind of
should.
the
He's
icing
got
on
to
the
be.
cake.
He has
He's
to be.
got to be going. Richard is lost for words, says, oh dear. Sack Moyes now, says Paul. Epic Moyes lovers. Listen, we've
Yeah,
just
let's
seen the
go.
worst. We've just seen the worst performance from a striker, Antonio, last game, and I think from Ben Johnson, mate, it's the worst defensive display I've seen from me. I think he's mentally scarred, Ryan. I think that's the end for him, mate. I
Oh,
think.
mate, I hate Johnson. But the thing is, I've said that for ages to Johnson. I've literally said, I don't know how many times I've said on this that I'd rather have a cone at right back than him. He is absolutely useless. He can't put a tackle in and he can't pass the ball. How can he be a right back if he can't do either of those things?
Well, if you saw my show in terms of what I wanted to set up as against Brighton, I wanted to do 4-4-2, mate. So you would take
Yeah, 100%.
Sue check out, put Skamaka in. Okay,
Yeah.
you didn't do that. I knew you fucking ain't going to do it anyway. But
Yeah.
as you're watching the game, same as Man United at half time, you know you got to
Yeah.
make changes.
100%.
United to win the game. So what he's doing, Ryan, he's setting up to draw every single game,
He
mate.
is. This is the thing. He sets up not to win. Like, it's so anti-football that it's boring. It is genuinely just boring now.
The other thing is obviously when you're 1-0 down, you haven't got anything up front, no shape, nothing. You've got to play two up front, so you've got something to hold on to, give Ings some kind. And what he does, he like you said, if I go back to his substitution at half time, Ben Rama, who's only one or two creative players, bringing 4-0s on. You're not doing that to get back in the game. You're doing it so you don't go 2-0 down. You're doing it because you don't want to go 2-0 down. You're not doing it to win the game or draw. That is what I'm seeing,
No.
mate. It's really, really odd what's going on.
But the thing is with that as well, bringing Fornals in, I don't really get what he's gone to, like, formation-wise, because Fornals is awful on the wing. He is terrible. When he played as a wing-back, he was all right, but then we had Emerson anyway, so it's not like we were going to go to a free-back or anything like that. So it was like bringing on another midfielder, really. It was like having four in midfield. So I just don't really understand what he's doing.
Epic, mate. What did you think of Brighton, mate? What did you think of Brighton then?
Well, Brighton. Well, we made them look like they're Barcelona in 08-09. Of course, but that's what we do with every team, really, at the moment. So can't really say anything about it. I am genuinely lost for words. 4-0 to Brighton.
I've got to the point, mate. I'm beyond flipping. You know what I mean? I mean, I've lost it. I'm just like
Moyes is totally. I don't even want to talk about the bloke. He's a swear word.
Mate, it's just, mate, just go. There was pictures of Sullivan there, everyone looking very, very bleak with his young wife, and she looked, and she had that kind of look like, I better not stick around like around him. He's gonna throw something, or you know. Daniel is saying, I'm more shocked at the fans that we're gonna get. Daniel, it's inept management by the manager. It's a results business, right? You can. Some fans are saying it's the manager. Sorry, it's the players, not the manager at halftime. And one of them was our beloved friend James, and it was so funny. Soon as James, and you know how much he loves Ben Rama,
Yeah.
so James says it's the players, not Moyes, and then halftime he takes Ben Rama off, and I wanted to ask James, are you still agreeing with
Moyes
that,
or the
mate? You
man?
know
Is it Moyes or Black? Mate,
exactly. For me,
absolute dinosaur.
it's always the manager in setup, in messages, and when you can see it's not happening, change it,
Yeah.
mate. Change the formation,
He won't
flipping
know.
out, and going back to the fullbacks, Ryan. All our fullbacks are shit, right?
Yeah.
So obviously, when I pick a team, I have to put Johnson in there or Kafal.
Yeah.
They're all shit, and that's due
Yeah.
to the manager. He's had 8 transfer windows to invest money, and even if you take
It
Johnson
is our
out, put
weakest
Kafal
position.
in.
It's our weakest position. The only half decent fullback we have, and that's Emerson. I actually think he is. If we played an attacking football, he'd be half decent like he was for Lyon last season. But we don't we play too defensively to bring. I don't get why we brought him in if we play defensively, because Moyes must have seen him last year because we played against him twice and saw, oh, he's an attacking fullback. Why would we buy him then? I don't understand the process of anything that he does. at all.
Yeah, we're going to go into the match in a minute, but let me just see. Yeah, everyone's just blowing a fit, mate, going mad that corner. Yeah, mate, Richard. I think he got done for 2 goals by the same player, mate. Yeah, really bad defending by him. Well back again. Similarly, interesting stat was Brighton. This was Brighton's first goal from a header since the last Brighton win at West Ham from a header. Welbeck, so really, really funny. Again, we've never beaten this team in the Premier League. It's good old friendly club Brighton. Brighton have whipped us 4-0. The penalty, again, a total shit show from Bowen. Not being professional. Silly penalty, wasn't it? Just slapped him on the back of his back. And it's got to be a penalty, wasn't it?
Oh, I don't understand. He has completely lost his head now, Bowen.
Steve, you're absolutely right. Ben Johnson. But as a manager, Ryan, you've got to protect him. He was mentally scarred, mate.
Yeah, but
you had to take him off.
He throws him under the bus. Think of that. Think of the midweek with a Gerd. Just threw him under a bus. It's all his fault.
It was bad, mate.
How can you do that? To be fair, I liked what Gerd said as well. He was going to help us beat Brighton. We've just lost 4-0 to them. Thanks for helping us, mate. Like, you're a centre half and you've conceded 4.
Oh, Richie's like me. Richie's like us both. Richie's lost it, mate. If Richie found out where Moyes live, oh my God, mate, you'll be there with a white van and a couple of lads in the back. I've had enough, mate. And I know that those days are gone where the manager would resign because he's going to get 6-7 million, so he's not going to resign. Actually, I am going to watch this press conference, actually, just to watch how pathetic Moyes is and see what shit he comes out with. And if he says something...
take away from the game.
Well, at least he can't say... Well, at least he can't say that, there was not much in it for ages. Mate, we're 1-0 down after 18 minutes, so he cannot... And it's just he's a broken man. He's a stupid man. And when you're just talking shit, mate, it looks even more funny on his face and his funny little eyes. And it's just... Oh, mate, I hope we got in plan 2 to bring someone in, mate, because that's... and the other thing is, obviously, there's no captain, is there? Like when Johnson made that first mistake, no one... Declan just looked up in the sky and walked back to the semicircle.
But he doesn't want to be there. He doesn't want to be there, really, at all. You can tell he doesn't want to be there.
Richard, that Mitoma guy, mate, he smashed Johnson. Oh, my God. He had a number on him.
Mitoma.
But why would you basic defending where you'd allow the guy behind to do whatever he wants? And Johnson kept on, doing the same mistakes. And he's done it before. I know it doesn't help. Left back, right back, centre back, left back. I know that doesn't help, but things like that, mate, you should know.
But left back, right back, he's both footed and he should know how to put a tackle in. He's a defender. He should know how to tackle and he should know what he's doing. I mean, he's a professional footballer at the end of the day and he's shocking. He would not start for any championship team either. He is terrible.
I did that.
To play in the Premier League and he's that bad, we are very, very concerning if how long Kufau's out for. Even though he's not that much better, but he's better than Johnson.
Yeah, we can't say any player was better than the other. They all had issues. If anything, I felt a bit sorry for Areola, perhaps. You think letting him fall and not being protected?
I think Areola's a top keeper, but I mean, we have a shocking defence in front of us. Other than, well, can't even say a Gerd. He got 2 assists and a goal in midweek, but our defence is terrible, really bad. So
right, Bournemouth have lost. Bournemouth have done the same thing what they did at Spurs. Go 2-0 up against the North London boys and lose 3-2. Thank you, Bournemouth. Fantastic.
Love it,
from
Bournemouth.
You. Thank you. Nice lads they are.
Gary O'Neill, he's all in for West Ham. He wants to keep him up.
Actually, I just realised the 2 South Coast clubs are at the bottom, Bournemouth and Southampton, which I'm not happy about because I'd rather go there away day than somewhere bleak up.
I don't mind Bournemouth. I mean,
it's nice on the South Coast.
I mean, their stadium... I don't know.
It's a nice trip. It's a nice trip, but I think we're going to stay up because there's that famous cliche. It looks like there is 2 or 3 clubs worse than us.
But is there?
But doesn't mean Moisey gets away with it.
But is there 2 or 3 worse teams than us? If we don't beat Villa and Southampton, have you seen our run of fixtures?
I think you're right. Even if we survive, it's going to be by a very, very small margin, which is 1 or 2 points, isn't it, and the goal difference. So does the board want to risk that? I don't know. But the worry is, Ryan, I don't know who we've got lined up, mate. We're not
No,
really
there's no
being
one.
linked with anyone,
No,
you know?
not at all. But
So I don't
this
know.
is the problem at all. But the thing is, we saw this start of the season, and everyone moaned at us, said that we were clueless.
I started flipping at pre-season and people said, Jazz, no, it's all about getting fit. I said, no. I said, I'm worried at pre-season. There's
Yeah, we
nothing
were
there,
awful in
mate.
pre-season.
Bad. And we weren't even fit. And then he started blaming, oh, why do we have to buy so many players so late in the window? And I'm like, because you didn't buy any in the window
Well, do your
before
job,
that.
mate, and manage them. That's what you're paid to do there. Like,
And listen, Danny Ings was just, it ain't going to work with one up front. You got away with it at Forest, mate, you know? And you got to go into each game differently, as you know. And he just does the same thing all over again.
Yeah.
And by hook or crook, it worked at Forest, you know, and Everton, which are two really, really bad teams at the moment. And now I'm probably going to get turned over by that Cypriot outfit. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
I mean, they've played like 24 games this season and not lost it, or lost one, or something like that. So
I think Ryan is going to get sacked. He's got to get sacked.
I genuinely do think he'll get sacked today.
Because it's a big thrashing, isn't it? It's not 1-0 or 3-2. It's
when it went 4-0, I thought, can we get 5 or 6 and definitely get him out? But I thought, Matoma, come and get a hat trick, mate. Keep coming. Go on, Danny Welbeck, who's about 50 and somehow still getting past our defence.
Again, sorry, I feel sorry for the fans who've made that trip again. It's just terrible.
No.
And Antonio allegedly had a knock. That's the weird one, isn't it? Bit
no, have you seen the other rumour? Usual suspect just put it in. Antonio was told he was a sub today and walked away. I saw that. He ain't got
a knock, mate. They've obviously had a bit of an argument. Because listen, Antonio wants to leave. He wants that one last move for money. Just let him go because he's 32, 30. He's 33 in 2 weeks' time, mate. Jake, you are right, my man. You are right. David, the easiest thing, if you saw my halftime short video on the channel, is Skamaka in for Souček, mate. And listen, I'm not a professor. Let's just try it. Let's just try it. And Ryan, you saw at Man United at halftime. We've got a chance, but you've got to take Antonio off or put 2 up front, and we could nick a second goal.
That was 100%. Midweek, realistically, against Man United, for large parts of that game, we was the better team. Until Erik ten Hag started changing his team. And this is why Moyes will not be a good manager anymore, because you have so many managers in this league that can put on a player with some instructions and the whole game changes. Moyes, we do the same thing from 1st to 90. Like, there's no change, and there never is. So,
is this the worst display for you this season, you think? We haven't let in this many goals.
I know we've conceded 4 against Brighton today, but the game I went to against Brighton at home, I think that was even worse. Because
the one at the end of the last season.
No. The one start of this season.
That's
when I flipped. I genuinely can't remember having like a proper chance on goal. Like
2-0, we lost 2-0.
Yeah, but we did not play. We were awful.
I lost it at the Chelsea game when we were 1-0 up and he played defensive, and then we ended up losing instead of going. And obviously that was a dodgy Cornet decision. Should have been a goal. Cornet apparently played in one of the games last night to get fit. He played half a game, I think. And Zuma looks like he's available going forward. Yeah, Lanzini on and Downs on.
I didn't even know we brought when it went 3-0, I wasn't really.
Listen, he's fallen out with Skamaka, isn't he? He's fallen out with him, mate. He's just fallen out with him. Just making an excuse. And Skamaka, he's making up these things. He don't want to play either, mate. It's a big shit show. Paqueta was, not quiet again, mate. Was he? Wasn't quite. I don't know what to make of him. Sometimes I'm happy with him. Sometimes I'm not. I ain't got a clue, mate.
The thing is, Paqueta is a great player, but just under the wrong manager. And that is the problem with most of these players.
Yeah, but you wouldn't make him your record signing at 53 million, would you?
Well, you wouldn't for David Moyes, because he clearly hasn't done that, and he doesn't even. He admitted he didn't even know how to use him. What? Why would you spend 53 million on someone you don't know how to use? Like,
I think an idiot. Yeah, I mean, looking at it, you would buy 25 million left back, 25 million right back, and then that 10 million. Actually, I think Emerson Emerson, I think, was cheaper than Kera. I think Kera was a couple of million more or less. And they're about 10,
God.
13 million anyway. They're at 10, 13 million each.
I hate
So
Kera.
if you save that, mate, you would have had 60 million to spend on 2 fullbacks. That's better, isn't it? That's better. Bob has had enough. Yeah, spineless, shambolic, woeful, mate. Mate, I just want this season to end. I know we're in the conference. It's a very forgetful season. I'm so glad I gave my 2 season tickets away last season. I kind of knew what was happening, and this is not a surprise. It's been happening since last Christmas, and it's been going on for a long time. I don't know, Derek. I think it's getting too close. Derek's got to go, mate. You know. No, because if we bring a new manager in, we might bloody win that conference or start playing, you know? Because the board, they have given him, buddy.
I felt confident that he will be gone. After losing 4-0, I think we've lost 4-0 to a beach. Like, he's got to go. He generally has got to go. We've lost 4-0 to a beach.
He's got to go, but I haven't got a clue, mate, who's coming in, mate. That's the thing. I haven't got a clue who's coming in. Yep, Skamaka looks depressed. Hammer 89, I hope you're doing all right, mate. Alex, he will get 3 more games. Oh, Alex, not that again, man.
Not 3 more. He had 3 more games for Arsenal, Brentford, and Leeds, and he got 1 point and still stayed.
Because what he does, he wins 1 in 6. I told you, he wins 1, loses 2, draws 3, and it carries on like this. So the board they surely can't keep doing this, you know. And we are lucky that sometimes the teams around us are kind of. Anyway, so the first goal was a penalty, wonderful penalty from McAllister. Then it was 2-0. Veltman scored. Mitomo, 69 minutes, 3-0. And then Welbeck, 4-0. In terms of substitutions, Fornals came on for Benrahma, 46 minutes. Zuma came on for Oggy, 69 minutes. Downs came on for Souček, 75. Lanzini for Paqueta, 75. And that's it, mate. After 75 minutes, there's no other substitutions. 3 yellow cards for West Ham, Souček, Bowen and Rice. You do not even want to look at the stats. They're pretty bad, mate. They're 20 goal attempts from Brighton, 3 from us, 9 on target from Brighton. Possession is around 70-30, which is it was worse than that during the game. But I don't know what we were trying to do, mate. It looked like it was a 4-3-3, which I'm not too sure about. For me, it just looks like Ings is isolated, and when we attack, we just take so long to kind of, get there in the box, to get the people in the right frame of mind. Our mindset is just to stick everyone behind the ball. So when you attack,
like last week when we won 4-0, that is the luckiest game. That is be the luckiest time we'll ever score 4 goals, because we didn't deserve to score 4 goals. We were still awful, and somehow we won 4-0 last week. But obviously the Moyes fans, Moyes has turned a corner here. But
no, this is a shit show. I mean, obviously in form, we were kind of in the lower mids, I think. But the main thing, obviously, is thank you, Mark. Hope you're well, mate. Hope you're well. Mark has been very generous and given us some money. Going to buy some Bacardi with that, I think, and share it with Ryan. I think that'll be the best thing. That'll be the best thing, I think.
Or
but seriously,
we pay Sullivan with it. Get rid of Moyes.
But for me. The issue with David Moyes is, first of all, it's the transfer windows. It's the 8 transfer windows where I think he hasn't bought anyone in 3 of them. And in 2 of them, they forced a player down his throat with a day to go, I think. So he does not like changes. And then with 7-8 people that left in the summer, he knew that was going to happen. He didn't do anything in the window before. And even in this window, he could have bought 2 more in, because we're losing another 6 or 7 in the summer. Yeah. And again, he's going to blame, saying, there's too many in one window. He's a complete shit show, mate.
He is. He's an idiot. He's an
absolutely idiot. And again, I mean, he got rid of Dawson. Then I heard the board ain't going to give him the money to buy someone young. They don't trust him anymore.
Why have we sold Dawson as well? I know the family problems, but we've sold him to a rival that's down with us. Like, I don't understand that. I get that he's got family problems, but like smartness wise, you wouldn't do that, because he's probably our second best centre back, other than Agard. But
I think I think there's a lot of issues, mate. A lot of issue with David Moyes. I think the coaching with Mr. Pearce and Alan Irvine leaving and not replacing them. Warburton doesn't come across as someone that could
supports Tottenham, and we've got him. Oh, I don't understand.
The other thing is, how often have we come out and straight away the first 5-10 minutes either we concede or straight away we're not at the horses, mate. We're just What does he say in the dressing room is that when they leave. And there's no captains, there's no leaders, there's no one to look up to, there's no one who can go like that, like all the great captains we've had.
I'd love to be a fly on the wall in the team talks. Like, I'd love to see what goes on.
Are they too nice? Look, that's why I'm not sure. Has he lost the dressing room? Are they too thick to lose? I know it sounds nasty, but you got to lose to get him out the door. But they keep winning every one game in 6 to keep him alive. I don't get it.
But today, losing 4-0, if I'm Sullivan, he's gone. I mean, he was gone before the World Cup, but he's got to go after this. He's got to go.
Richard, you're bang on there. If you're 1-0 down, you've had a really bad half. You do not take. You want to. Well, he is. Well, he's the most creative player. Yeah. He is the most creative player. He scored against Man United. And he was just looking maybe to prove me wrong, and then we're back to square one again now. And then 4-0 is back in now. That's the end of Benny now for another 2-3 games. It just carries on like this. Yeah. And I don't know.
It's ridiculous.
You cannot win a game with 4. 4-0 offers you something a bit different, a bit of energy. But the other thing I'm really concerned about, Ryan, and I'll go back to Bowen because he had a really good shot. We can't finish, mate. A lot of the time, a lot of our players can't score, mate. And I mean, Benny got that one in, which is amazing. But even he often doesn't have any power in his shots, and so we really and they said that. Oh yeah, we're finishing when they're working in training now from 3 weeks ago. I mean. That is a complete shambles, mate. I'm hearing on TalkSport and all the big media outlets tonight, they're all slating West Ham. Even the channel I was watching it on, Sky Sports, BT Sport, they can't believe it's a complete shambles, mate, of a performance. Complete shit show. No player can hold their head up. If you look at the ratings, I think it's going to be 1s and 2s and 3s and 4s. No captain, Skamaka. My God, he don't even look at him twice to bring him on. And my dad keeps saying, why is there no youngsters involved? Why is there not even one on the bench?
It's horrible. If you're a youngster in the West Ham setup, you're not getting any game time. And he's left now, but Harrison Ashby was our best right back. And he just didn't want to play him. He was our best right back.
What else isn't good, mate, is going back to your question on Dawson. Apparently, we promised to sell him in the summer, but because of the way we operate, we couldn't get a like-for-like replacement. We promised him that we'd let go of him, but then letting go of him to one of your relegation rivals doesn't make any... And he scored for them on his debut, then he was man of the match in the game after that. And since he's come in, mate, Wolves have really done well since Dawson.
Have they won today as well?
I think they beat Spurs, mate, and then, it's that kind of thing. And don't forget, this Brighton team, it's very, very well managed.
Don't get me wrong, Brighton are they're good. But they're not, not to be like putting Brighton down, but they're not at the level of a club that West Ham is at all. And we shouldn't be losing 4-0 to them.
It's embarrassing, mate. And again, at the end of it, he didn't really change anything. He didn't change the formation. He didn't change any of the key personnel. And for me, it's very, very apparent that more often than not, David Moyes is setting up to draw a game. It's really, really sad. So when we're 1-0 up against United, I'm saying, come on, let's go for 2. We know we can get that second. Yeah. He sits back, and he thinks by sitting back, we're going to, at worst, we're going to draw 1-1. He doesn't do anything. Antonio stays until the 85th minute. What is Skamaka meant to do? And today, I think he went for damage limitations, David Moyes, by bringing Fornells on. Because Fornells is very good at helping the fullbacks.
It could have been 6 or 7. It could have been 6 or 7 very easily. And I think that's why he brought 4-0 on at half time for damage limitations, but we still conceded 4.
It is, mate. Ginger Carroll, we can never hear him, mate. Ginger struggles with audio, mate. Ginger's got to sort that out. Sometimes we see him upside down, sometimes we can't hear him. I got a lot of complaints last time, Gingy boy. There's people going to come round for me, mate. It's just gone on and on, isn't it, Sean? Even it sounds stupid all the time. I want to talk about something else, mate, yeah? I'm just like, I want to talk about fucking daffodils or something else out there. You know what I've eaten? I've had a cheese and onion pasty this morning, Ryan. Get in there.
Beautiful. Boys would destroy that as well, though.
That's some nice Japanese whiskey last night, and I might be out and about with the lads later on. I think I'm going to go out now. I need a bit of a cheering up. So you're going to do something tonight?
Oh, well, I don't know what I'll do. Probably cry into a pillow.
But yeah, what we're saying in summary is, yeah, it's tactics, it's in-game management as well. It's bad. He doesn't know how to use 5 subs, and the thing what I know about him is Moisey. He's an old school, the last old school manager left, and he likes to take training every single day himself. So what the other managers used to do, like I mentioned, you only see him like half the week. But if you keep seeing the same fucking person, same message,
and that horrible face as well,
oh my god. You know, if you imagine, like before, if you take a couple of days off and then you've got Piercy in there giving you different messages, have a different laugh, or Nolan, whatever, it's just there's no succession plan.
Will be the telling of the season because we've got Aston Villa first, and then Man City game's been postponed because they're still in the cup, and then we've got Southampton, and they're both at home, so there be the well. I think Moy should be gone. I think he should be gone today, but I think if we do lose to Villa, that'll be the one that he is gone. Definitely.
Well, Villa are actually they're doing very, very well under a good manager. They've upped their game. They've won 1-0 today,
but
so
we
that's
could have
looking
had a
really good.
That would have sacked him. We could have had him. This is the problem.
We're not clever enough to spot that there's a manager available to sell him a plan. Southampton are playing Leicester in the evening game, I think, and and they're at home, Southampton. So if they get something, we're all going to be bunched together. It's ever so risky in there at the moment.
And then you've got what tomorrow? Forest, Everton, which is also, well, you don't really know.
I think Everton will win that. I think
it is at Forest though. They're all right at home.
I know people are saying things about Deitch. Listen, Deitch, I thought was very brave to take that job with the window virtually closed. He's had no money to spend. He's got no striker up front, mate. He's doing the best he can. But one thing you can certainly see, the players are trying to play for him. They're getting fitter. He has got that thing in him. But I thought he should have come in at the beginning of the window. Because I think they made a last day bid for Gallagher, 40 million Everton. It was never going to be accepted by Chelsea or the player. You weren't going to go there anyway. But they do have a lot of injuries up there. Let's have a look. Mr. Fred. Yeah, I mean, what I wanted Fred with Benny was, like I said, till the end of the season, I wanted him to play nearly every game so I can really, really make up my mind on him,
like
right?
Ben Rama. I really do like Ben Rama. I do think he is a quality player.
Yeah, but I think we got the wrong coach for Benny. He's not the right coach, you know.
You need a manager that will put his arm around him because there's no point like Moyes does. He outs him every week. But I
think someone like Harry Redknapp will love him.
He would, and he'd be so good. But we saw how good he was when he was at Brentford. He was it was in the Championship. Granted, it wasn't the Premier League level, but he was an absolute joke with Thomas Frank. He was so good.
Daniel, you're absolutely right with this comment. It was that Liverpool 3-2 win. Zuma, that was the peak. Then after that, if you remember, Ryan, Oggy got injured after that game.
Yep.
And that was the slide, and he never dipped into the market. And that's why you still had...
We decided to go buy Vlasic.
Listen, even Krezi. I think Fabianski and Krezi have been given 1-year extensions. And if you saw Creswell... in that Forest game, or one of the games, mate.
All of us around where I was, so I was in section 110, everyone was going, why is Creswell on? Everybody. He was so slow. So slow. Linesman outpaced him at one point.
I'm just going to have a look on the website and see if there's any things about him getting sacked or anything. Clumsy. Sky Sports pundit calls West Ham star clumsy. Ex-employee. That's just about someone else. Ings, Moyes, Premier League, appalling. Say TalkSport. Moyes disgraceful. Hammers shame on us. Brighton says Clareton Hugh. Nothing at the moment, everyone. Nothing at the moment about. Usually you get things like the board are going to have an emergency meeting tomorrow. So I don't know if any of that's going to happen, but I'm hoping that he's gone.
They won't know. Let's be honest, he's here till the end of the season, probably. I mean, I am confident that they will right now, but also I do think he's probably here till the end of the season. Because like they said, if they were going to sack him, they'd get someone who was like him. So they've got absolutely no ideas at all. So they're probably going to keep him.
So it's home to Villa, everyone, the next fixture. And then we know the Europa's in between that, which is another home game. Because I think Moyes has been complaining there's been too many away games. But listen, mate, at the end of the season, you play the same amount.
Just do your job. That's all we're asking you to do, Moyes. Stop complaining. Just do your job.
That's it. What this is telling me, mate, is that we were due to play City away, but that's been postponed or rearranged for later on. So we've got Southampton at home, mate. Oh, that's a big one. Home to Southampton.
We lost them last season at home as well.
That's a pretty key one. And Bournemouth, we've got to go to Bournemouth as well yet. We've got Man United to come, Leicester, Liverpool, Arsenal to come yet. It's up to the board, but for me, it's going to be very close, very close. Obviously, it's difficult judging your own club because your heart always rules your head. But my head's telling me it's too risky to keep him, I think.
It is.
It's too risky because it's just...
I think if we do keep him, we could be going down. I genuinely do.
But why he's
see 3 teams worse than us? I don't. They're all changing. Leeds have at least brought in a manager, and they want to change as well. Same with
But Ian, you can't keep playing one up front, mate. It's a very key position, mate. Danny, if I was Danny Ings, I was the same build as him. I think he's the same height as me, 5'10", is he, something like that? It's hard, mate. He's 30, Danny Ings. You can't. He got away with it at Forest, mate. But it's the formation, mate. And even Rice said in an interview after the Spurs game, saying the way we're set up, we want to score more goals and play like that, but it's a struggle for us in the way we're set up. It's hard to come up, and you're just waiting to score. And then more often than not, we're usually 1-0 down very, very quickly in the game, and then he doesn't do anything. And it's just what it is. I know we haven't conceded a lot of goals this season. I get that. And even Moisey, the plonker, saying, oh, there's been so many losses that have been really close games and fine line. I don't care. You've lost, mate.
Has his press conference come out yet?
I don't know yet, mate. I think it's a bit early. He's probably in there and a good little shout at them. I don't know what he's up to. But listen, you're home to Villa in front of our crowd, and Villa got 1 or 2 interesting players. They're actually... more often than not, do play 2 up front.
Ollie Watkins against Ogbonna. That's going to be fun.
Well, I did show in my programme yesterday, mate, that Villa beat Brighton and Danny Ings scored twice, and they played 2 up front.
Yeah.
They had that Bundia next to him, 4-4-2. Just got to try something different, mate.
He's so stubborn. Look, like I've said so many times, 4231 is in his phone number. I just don't get it. He will not change from playing that. It's like a 4-3-3, but then you have Susek, who's like coming behind the striker, which basically is a cam, so it's basically playing 4-2-3-1 again. Like, I just don't get what he's doing.
We knew that Brighton were going to be very, very good in midfield, so I would have liked to have thought about that and perhaps play an extra man in there to cope for that. It's just tactically, and I gave that example in my mind to my dad, was that Bournemouth were beating Spurs 2-0, and Conte made 2-3 changes in the first half and changed the tactics, and they won 3-2. Right? And then that is what good managers do. Yeah, they change things during the game.
That's why he can't be a good manager.
I don't know why he's always waiting until 75, 80. This is why he's never won a trophy
at all.
It's just mad. 2 up, 2 down. That's what we were mentioning, mate. He didn't look happy. His missus looked worse than him, mate. So I think there's going to be a few cups of tea flying around there, mate. But we must remember that, Gold is no longer with us. The 2 daughters are there, and I don't think they go to any games. They're busy running the 2 businesses that he gave them. And another thing that's coming out now, mate, is that Krotensky, he's put a lot of money. He's won a huge contract to do with batteries, manufacturing batteries somewhere, perhaps in the UK. He's won that contract, and we are just a very small part in his portfolio. It looks very likely he's only in it to lend money, and that money went towards repaying the loans for the 2 directors, Gold and Sullivan. He doesn't want the headache of full ownership, because he's got too many things going on in his life, and owning a club takes over everything. So we just got to wait and see who wants to buy us, mate. And
have you seen what Father Hammer's just said? Moyes said to the fans, "Hope they've seen enough in the last 2 seasons to have hope." Yeah, he does know that we're in 2023, not 2021. He does understand.
It's like he's doing his job interview in the press conference, isn't it? He's like, I've got bag, got a brownie points in the bag,
I'm
and
here to win.
so we are celebrating what, a semi-final loss? Are we? Are we that stupid? Are we, or that less ambition? Are we going to go? Are we selling scarves showing the semi-final defeat with Eintracht Frankfurt and all that kind of thing? It's just typical Father Hammer. It's absolutely pathetic.
Yeah.
He's just got to look at himself in the mirror. He's had long enough to decide that, and I ain't got a clue, mate. There's a lot of players that he's bought in the summer. They're just not getting anything out of them, mate. I know Cornet's injured. I know Skamaka's fit. He's not being used. Kerr, I think we've written him off, mate.
He's awful. Ugh.
It's just a complete shit show, mate. And I can't believe after spending 170, 180 million, we look a worse team than last year. It's just doing the same things all over again. And how he kept Antonio. And in the press conference, Ryan, he actually ignored the questions after Man United about Antonio. Like, 2-3 of the guys. Yeah, 2 of the 3 guys said.
A guard under the bus. That's it. That's all he does. He couldn't just say Antonio should have scored those chances and then go back into the dressing room and tell him how much of a donkey he is. But he won't do that.
2 up, 2 down. If you follow my channel, I wanted David Moyes sacked after the Chelsea game, and I wanted Poch in there. Right? I'm not saying Poch would have come, but at least the board get together, make a plan, and anyone, I believe anyone is possible to get in. Right? Anyone. It's and also we're amateurs, but what I understand about football is you don't necessarily have to go for the manager who's got the highest ratings, because they're not a good fit for your club. Like perhaps if Mourinho came in, he's not a good fit for us. You've got to look for a manager with a bit more flair, a bit more, really good attacking philosophy. That kind of manager suits us. We've seen in the past where statistically Big Sam was a very, very good manager, and Moyes is kind of okay in the past 10, 11 years at Everton. But long term, these managers are not suitable for West Ham. They just haven't got the DNA that we like. Our managers are like Harry Redknapp, a bit of Alan Pardew, a bit of Bilic. Those are the Pellegrini again. Bilic and Pellegrini, why it didn't work out? You can see that defensively they were so poor. So they're like from one end to the other. Moyes is too cautious. These two are too the other way. So we need something in the middle, which I'm sure those people are out there.
I want Will still.
Well, actually, my dad keeps on about him all the time. He keeps on about him.
He supports West Ham. He wants to manage West Ham, and he's got Rems 10th. Rems, I'd just rather have him. At least he supports West Ham. At least he knows what the club's about. Just get him in. Get Mark Noble as in his assistant or something like that. Brilliant. Be beautiful.
Ginger's had it. Ginger's flipped. Ginger's had enough, mate. But yeah, you've got to look for the right manager. I think there's a Feyenoord manager, mate, they've labelled him the most attacking manager in Europe. I think they broke a record. They had 50 shots in one game a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
But they're top of the league. They're doing well in the European tournament.
That's the only person we could get is Ruud van Nistelrooy as well. He's a good manager. I mean, he beat Arsenal this season as well. So
it's like you said, yeah. The scouts have got to do that, mate. And there's so many things wrong in our recruitment. We're just wasting money or not really thinking about why we're buying certain players, and certainly buying players then not knowing what their strengths are. And then after, what are we in February, March? Paqueta, you're suddenly getting to know him. You're sitting down having a cup of tea with him, are you? Or what the hell are you doing, mate?
Said Moyes has been sacked. I mean, probably bullshit, but. And then he put announcement be later. Mark my words. So thanks. That's great. I've got 0 to 100, back to 0. Cheers, Hammer 89.
I know what's going to happen, mate. I'm going to go out for my little party, and he'll be sacked then, and I'll have to somehow do a show while I'm not really at home. But fans make feelings clear to Moyes with 3 chants during embarrassing defeat. I did hear that. I don't know which end it was coming from, but it was like you're getting sacked in the morning, very, very loud around the ground.
Hopefully,
that's the way, mate. We all got to hope, mate. We all got to hope, mate. We all got to hope, mate. Some people
had us in the first half. He did.
Yeah, Daniel's on about his.
Will Still that has got no coaching badges, which isn't true. He has got coaching badges. It's just he hasn't got his UEFA something that would make him a professional manager. So they have to pay like £20,000 every time he manages. That's the West Ham thing, that.
The other worrying thing, Ryan, is I knew some things weren't right before they gave him 170, 180 million. As the custodian owner of the
Give him
club,
180 million.
I would want to have a serious meeting with him before I give this money to him to think what he's up to, what his feelings are, and I'd ask him things like, "We should have really won the conference. You didn't buy anyone, and obviously I think they had a few arguments in the windows, and and sometimes they say, listen to the fans. They say, listen, there's 2 days to go in one particular window, and I think Declan Rice and Mark Noble went to the board really concerned, saying we need help. We're knackered. We've been playing 2.5 years with a squad of 14. We're concerned there's no one coming through the door. We're ambitious players, especially Rice.
Who's absolutely shocking, who scored 1 goal. Have you seen Paul's comment? Boys has jumped off Brighton pier.
I used to go there with the kids, little bumper cars and all that kind of thing up there, mate. Yeah.
God.
Right, so yeah, you got to ask the manager, sit down with him, and you'd really want to know sort of what the plan is to spend the money, and again, we're not being proactive. We know Declan Rice could be leaving, soon. There's no we haven't even got his replacement in the team, Ryan. Nana, I don't know what happened with that. I'm not really following the guy that much, but if that's the one you wanted, how the hell did Frank Lampard sell Everton to West Ham, who are in Europe? How can you do? Yeah.
I just don't know. What has Moyes said to him? Genuinely, what is he? Well, apparently he didn't say anything. Actually, he just went, "Well, if you want to go there, go there."
Apparently, I think Lukaku had a lot of influence, told him to go Everton, I think. But the other thing I heard from David Moyes is that when he's after a player, and usually players want to talk to you, he gets very annoyed by that. And he says, oh, okay, if they're not convinced, they don't want to sign for West Ham, I want to sign someone else. I don't want to sign him. This is what he does. He thinks it's offensive. God. He thinks it's offensive to tell to sell your club, which you have to. And I kept telling people that follow like your dad's, like John Lyall, half those players, Phil Parks, Ray Stewart, they didn't want to sign for West Ham because they wanted to find out a bit more. So once they sat down with the manager, he explained what he thought of him, how he's going to fit into the plans. Then they said we had to sign.
Yeah, but then if Moyes done that, he'd probably. To be fair, I'd rather Moyes not speak to them. I would. Another
thing is they reckon Onana wanted a surety that he's going to have a guaranteed place in the team, and my answer to that is players lie often and check. You can do the same. Just tell him anything for him to sign. Once he's signed, he's signed. You can tell him anything.
We play Sosek every week. He's awful.
No, at that time he loves Souček, mate. He loves Souček. Whatever he's done, he still loves him.
I think Souček's got sign on him. I do. They're playing every week.
Are you one of those people who some of them are thinking it's going to be Frank Lampard, romantic return?
I think it's Frank Lampard. But the only thing I will say is that he is actually not. He's not terrible. I mean, he got Chelsea top 4, and they didn't even sign anyone that whole season. But at Everton, he wasn't that good. But then he was just working with dead wood. So realistically, it's not a fair analysis of what he could actually do. I mean, he's played at a high level. He's been with top managers. So, I mean, he must have learnt something off of them. Sarah,
hope you well. Yep, you've got to get relegated. Definitely. Paul's having a laugh. Laugh or cry, innit, mate? Laugh or cry, mate. Oh, mate.
I actually just can't. But West Ham, what an absolute joke club it is at the moment. From top to bottom. It is. Absolute circus.
I mean, we don't even own a ground. We've got the worst training facilities. We've got an academy where no one's going
20
through.
20 quid for a pint of beer.
It is. Oh, mate.
You have to mortgage your house to buy food in the stadium. It's ridiculous.
It's got a shit, yeah. Ginger, I don't trust you, mate. Oh, Gingy. Did you see that one where Ginger was upside down?
Yeah.
I thought, what am I gonna do with you, mate?
He was doing
And then in
handstands.
the end, his phone fell off the table. Oh, mate! And then he sounded like he was stuck in a hole somewhere. Oh, mate! Oh, what can we do? Frankie has been sent to Link, but I believe he's probably busy with the family, old Wanky. But I'll give him a nudge tomorrow, and like I said, if you see how the news breaks this evening, and then we got overnight to reflect, and then we can all kind of see what we want to do, isn't it? See what we want to do. Okay, I think that's about it from me, mate. I think it is what it is, mate. But I will actually give Ginger. Oh, Ginger wants the link. Okay, let me send him the link. Hang on. I'm going to send Ginger the link, and then we'll see what he sounds like. And then where is it? I thought Matt was going to join. Actually, I haven't seen him for a while. Matt was freaking out. He was freaking out, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was fuming. It was the bit where he said that thing about Ben Johnson, and he was like, and now he can't even mark from the corner. That was funny. He actually said it was like a minute later that other thing happened. That was funny.
I think you went to the Forest game, didn't you?
I did go. Yeah, I went to the Forest game. Yeah, but I mean, it was shit. The atmosphere was also shit. It was awful. I mean, we won 4-0, but that's the only time we're going to play that poorly and score 4 goals.
I think the opposition obviously wasn't that good, was it? Either.
No,
it's absolutely crap.
The thing is, Forest took off Shelby and put on Colback. If they wouldn't have I think they took off Shelby and brought Andre Ayew on. So they took a midfielder off, and that completely changed the game. That's when West Ham had the space to then attack. But Shelby was genuinely running the game for Forest against us. John Joe Shelby.
I think the fullback area is a big problem because they're so busy defending under pressure, they rarely get over the halfway line to provide that width and extra thing. You got people like Trippier, Robertson, Arnold, all Cancelo, and then you've got all the Arsenal lot. They're all 24, 25.
We've got Ben Johnson. He's the best up-and-coming right back in the league. And we sing every week he's one of our own.
I think Ben Johnson has never really had a reasonable run in the team.
No.
I don't even know what his position is, but when I see him, like you said,
on the bench,
he's okay one game, and then you don't see him for 2 months. Then he comes back in again, and I don't know what to think of him, mate. I don't know. I don't know what to think of him after today.
He's shit. He is absolutely shit. I hate him.
I think after today, like you said, it's gonna play on his mind, mate. I can't see him playing again this season.
He won't.
I can't really see him playing again today, so we'll see what happens. How you doing, Ginger? You all right, mate?
Yeah, you all right, mate? How you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. What do you think of the game then?
Oh, mate, where do I fucking start, mate? This is pissing me off. He's got to go. He's got to go. Yeah. You can't keep doing the same things and expecting different results. Playing the same shitty formation, the same system, the same fucking players that are out of form. He's got to go. Can't play 2 up top. He doesn't want to play 2 up top. We need goals. We need results. We are going down. Yeah, this prick needs to fuck off. And Sullivan, you need to grow some bollocks, mate, and get him out of the club. I'm fed up, mate. I'm fed up, Jazz.
It's probably the worst display this season, and the worst thing he does, mate, he doesn't even try to play 2 up front. He doesn't change it. And then when you're 1-0 down, why would you take Benrahma off, put Fornals on? He's trying to limit the damage. He's not thinking about getting back in the game, mate. He's trying to defend better again. I mean,
but we can't defend. We're conceding 4 goals. And we just concede all the time. What's the point turning up? I'd rather the team not turn up and forfeit the match, and you only concede 3 goals. It goes down as a 3-0 loss.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Fucking that 4 goals that we scored against Nottingham Forest the other day helped our goal difference, even though we've got the best goal difference out of the 4 or 5 of us down the bottom. That's just fucked us again. What is the point? I'm sick and tired of it, Jazz. We should boycott. Everyone should just boycott the games, especially the home games, and send a message to Sullivan.
100%.
Back out the banners. The banners have got to come back out. The protests have got to come back out. We turn up at the training ground. We turn up at the gates when all the players and Sullivan turn up at London Stadium.
He's got to be sacked now, isn't he, Ginge? He's got to be sacked now, isn't he, after that 4-0?
He has to. None of this fucking free game bollocks. It doesn't work because Moyes will get one good result or a result out of those 3 games that will save him. And it's always the 3rd game. And then they go, oh, yeah, we'll give him another 3 games. No. If you're going to do that, give him the next game. The next 1 game. If you then lose that, then get rid of him. None of this 3 games. It's just stupid. It's fucking stupid. And Sullivan can kiss goodbye to his fucking 600 million that he wants for the club for a start. And I've just seen a report that Kretinsky, taking full control of the club, is now on hold amid relegation fears. So, like, Sullivan, what the fuck are you doing, mate? You silly little hobbit. You need to broken bollocks, like I said, right? Fuck me, bro. You wanna start taking off that Russian hat you've got and start fucking letting things sink into your head. It's
I need that today.
Because you don't own, like you said, we don't own our stadium, yeah? We don't have any good training facilities. We have a decent squad on paper, but on paper doesn't get you anywhere. We go down, you're going to lose all the value of them players because we're going to have to sell them off because no one's going to want to stay. You're going to undercut yourself. You're going to lose money on what you paid for them to what you get back. Then you've got to buy in a load of players that are championship level to help you get back up. You can't. There's no parachute payments. You can't use the stadium equity because you don't even own the fucking stadium. So you're going to just go one way and that's down. And before you know it, we're going to be playing Dagenham and Redbridge in the fucking conference.
Yeah, you're
shocking.
right, mate.
It's fucking shocking. And fans,
yeah,
we need to unite against Moyes, against the club, against Sullivan, right? Back out the banners, get the fucking chanting, get the protest going, because this is unacceptable. Unfucking acceptable. These last 2 years that everyone keeps living, or Moyes keeps living on, even more. Fuck that, because it means nothing now if we get relegated. And we need to do something now before it's too late.
See, this is more now
on as it is.
It's now more on the board than even on him. Because realistically, if we had a good board, he'd have been gone. So it is the board that's doing it to themselves, really. Because any other fucking... Like Villa. Villa sacked their manager, Steven Gerrard, because he was useless.
Yeah.
Our manager is worse than Steven Gerrard. He is fucking awful. But we still, we're going to back him, we're going to back him, we're going to back him, we're going to back him. But for no reason. What has he given us back? Fuck all.
Nothing.
So we just got to get rid of him.
And he was at the game today, yeah? So surely, unless that silly little screen that he's got, yeah, in front of him is fucking, because he's too small, that screen's in his way and he can't see fuck all, right? You should be fucking watching that game and thinking how much of a shit show it is. That second half is a fucking atrocious. Not one single shot on or off target in the whole fucking second half. We only had 3 shots in the first half. In the last few games, we've had, single digits shots on target. It's just unacceptable. He needs to do something.
Mate.
Even his missus is probably sitting there going, don't you think we need to do something? And I know fuck all about football, but I think you need to do something. Do you know what I mean? She's fucking nick a set from fucking Ann Summers. Do you know what I mean?
She's saying, mate, that I need 4 security guards before you get him back in the Rolls Royce, mate. We're going to get done here in the car park. Ginger's in the car park looking around with a hammer.
Yeah. Oh, mate, don't tempt me.
He'll be watching like that, like. Oh, do you remember? Was it Gold got done, didn't he? At the West Brom Cup game away in the car park.
Yeah,
oh my god.
He took a little bit of abuse. Like it wasn't that bad. But
I think Dom and Marshy were there, weren't they? I think.
That.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that bad. It's just the fact that the people doing it or that come and spoke to him came across aggressive because they were frustrated. They were passionate, but they were frustrated. So it came across a lot worse than what it actually was. And fair play to Gold. He stood there and chat to the fans. See Sullivan, fucking hell. Can you imagine him trying to run away with that squirrel little legs?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Going back to
in charge.
Going back to your question.
I'm going to sit up on the London orbital, right? I'm going to sit in that little thing with a sniper and watch the gap blow off. Mate.
Allegedly, everyone for protection.
Yeah,
but going back to your Kretensky question, he ain't gonna buy the club, mate. We're just one part of his portfolio.
It's literally as I was coming on, I see it on my phone. That the Kretensky full takeover is on hold amid relegation fears. And do you know what? I don't blame him. Why would you want to take over?
Relegation fears. We are getting relegated. There's no fear.
Exactly.
We are.
And surely, right? Obviously, he's now second majority shareholder of the club. He's got just as much power in that boardroom to say, "Look, Sullivan, you need to fucking do something, or I'm taking my money and fucking off." Because he can't take over full control unless I think it's Sparta Prague. He owns one of the Pragues anyway. He's got majority shareholder there. You can't own two football clubs at the same time. So he's willing to give up some percentage so he can be second majority shareholder of Prague, if not all of Prague, to become full majority shareholder of West Ham. And we're not doing nothing. Like, Sullivan is thick as shit, mate, because his stock is just going to go down. We get relegated, your money is going to go down. Like I said about the stadium, like I say, it's worth fuck all in the championship.
And there's no more 120 million for Rice. That's out the fucking window as well.
100% we're not going to get him for that. And Rice is just as frustrated as everyone else. He's running his fucking arse off in most of the games. He can't get near anyone because the players around him are fucking shits. Right? So he's sitting there thinking, fuck me. But I tell you what, Rice still tries. But if I was Rice, I'd be like, fuck this, mate. I can't.
To be fair, I think he tries for like 20 minutes and then he remembers where he is and he's like, fuck it.
Yeah, but what's the... Like, I had a game earlier. I only watched the second half. And I had a game earlier and I was exactly the same. I was running around like a cunt for fucking like 75 minutes, having a go at all the other players around me because they were shit, basically. And it's the same as West Ham. Like, surely Rice is just going to sit there and think, you know, why am I bothering? Why am I trying so hard? He knows he can go. He knows
he's gone. That also is like what's probably playing into his mind. Like, he doesn't need to try it as much now as well. Because he knows he's go.
Yeah, he doesn't need to try it. But I think he cares about West Ham.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, because he's even said if it wasn't for West Ham, I wouldn't be here. Right?
But it's the prick in charge. That's the problem. It's the prick in charge of the whole thing.
Exactly. It's the little fucking ginger prick, and I can say that because I'm ginger, so there's no discrimination. Right? So it's that little ginger prick and that little hobbit.
Yeah.
Mate, I'm fucking done with them.
I say it's more on the board now than on Moyes, realistically. Because if the board don't get rid of him tonight after losing 4-0, it's their fucking fault we're in this shit.
What the board are scared of, mate, is it's like Ginger said. If the fans turn at Sullivan, he doesn't like that. He gets very nervous. Then he'll do something. And this question here, mate, it's the setup, Centurion. It's the setup at West Ham where we, even at home in the London derby, mate, we got 3 CDMs, 5 at the back. That is not West Ham, mate. That's not going to get you off your seat. That's why the fans from the kickoff are pretty subdued, like you said. Either they're trying to see if they got extra money to get that £8 pint of beer, or it takes you like 3 days to get some of those steps. But the other thing is, it's that we're not aggressive at getting at teams at home, mate, which is what West Ham's all about. Like, having a go. It might not come off, but we're not having a go, mate. We're getting done in possession. We've got no attacking philosophy. One guy up front, very isolated. It's a shit show, mate. Worst fullbacks in the country.
Watching that second half, right? You've got players that are trying to close down, yeah, but we're not closing down as a team. So you've got individuals that are running in triangles in between fucking 3 of their players, and you've got a massive gap in the middle in between the defence and the midfield, and their players are just pulling back, sitting in that gap. It's probably about a 20-30 yard gap in between the midfield and defence. and a couple of their players are just sitting in the pockets. They play through us, and all of a sudden they've got so much time to turn, and they've got about 4 players running on. So it's a 4-on-4 against our defenders, right? But therefore are so much more better and fucking clued up than the 4 of our defenders that they're coming up against. So they're able to be smart and hold their run, pull in, and no one's following them. No one's doing anything to nullify anything that Brighton have done today. And don't get me wrong, Brighton are a good team. Right? I'm not taking nothing away from Brighton, but we need to be better. The players need to be better. The man management, the game management needs to be better. He needs to make fucking subs, right? He does the same thing over and over again.
He's allergic
until
to
the
making
70th
subs.
minute to make subs, and the subs are fucking clueless. You bring off our best player this season for someone. You take off Paqueta and Ben Rama, and you don't have any creative player to get the ball to Ings, who, bearing in mind, is up front on his own, who can't fucking work miracles. He's got a fucking cheese string hamstring that can pop any moment. He's got a fucking wooden leg, yeah, that can fall off at any moment. So I mean, we're not doing him any favours.
No.
And Skamaka is another hilaire for David Moyes, because David Moyes does not know how to fucking use him and play him.
He doesn't know how to use an actual striker. Like, that's why Antonio is good for him, because he doesn't know how to use an actual striker.
When we had Cornet on the left, and we'd have someone else in the middle, probably Ben Rama or Paqueta. I can't remember.
I thought we got
up top.
Yeah.
You see the fucking interchanges. You see the play, and they got comfortable with each other. Rice was joining in, and they looked good. And then Cornet goes and gets injured, and then fucking Antonio comes off the bench for 10 minutes and thinks, "Oh, I've got to work my bollocks off because Skamaka scored." And then he goes and scores, and then he drops Skamaka and thinks, "Right, Antonio's back because he scored." That geezer could not hit fucking water if he fell out of a boat.
Guy could not organise a piss up in a brewery, to be honest. Let's be real. He's a fucking clueless.
Moyes, right, running a fucking team, running a Premier League team. He couldn't even run a Sunday League team. He couldn't even run a Bath, that cunt.
He is awful. Mate, you're right, mate. The other thing, Ginge, Ben Johnson, mate, that was the worst defensive display in a while I've seen from anyone, mate. He needed to be taken off.
Ben Johnson is the shittest player.
Huh? We know this as well, and we don't do anything. Like, you go and let Harrison Ashby, like I think you said it earlier, Ryan. He was one of our brightest prospects, probably the best right back that we've got, an actual right back at the squad who's young and fit enough to get up and down. You don't give him a chance. Yeah, we fuck up all of our youngsters. You've got Dawson, fair enough, he wanted to go back and be closer to his family because he's travelling down from the Midlands every single day for training and games and whatnot, understandably. But you know that's happening. He's not sprung it up on you on the day. You've known that for a little while. So why have you not gone out and got a fucking replacement? You know Kurt Zuma is just going to go off kicking cats again.
His legs are made of fucking jelly as well.
Why do you away fans don't let that one go now? Fucking let it go now.
It's stupid. It's criminal. You've got you've got Ogbonna. You've got basically both of them two are over 30. You've got Kufau, who, in respect,
he wants to leave the club. Kufau wants to go.
In the last few games, he's upped his game, but we still need cover. Ben Johnson, fuck me, he's worse than the under 14s. You've got Kera, fuck me, like where's he come from?
Worst German defender ever, like in history, is the worst German defender.
He's worse than a German Challenger tank.
To be fair, stick that as centre back, it probably would do.
I think going back to what Ginge said, that if we lose to Villa at home next, it's going to kick off. I think in the stadium, they're going to.
Mate, the thing is,
it's not going to be good.
The Burnley thing that happened when we played Burnley and we ran on someone, got a corner flag and put it in the middle of the pitch.
It won't be, maybe not to that extent. Well, actually, we are in a shit.
But the board fucking done something after.
Should all run on the pitch. They'll do us a favour and ban us all. All run on the pitch and fucking stand there and say we're not moving until you fucking sack this prick, or do something. One or two players running on the pitch will get dealt with. If we get about at least 10, 20 of us all run onto a pitch. Yeah, you don't have to be in the same area, but from around the stadium, bang, 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 everyone's going to, all the stewards are thick as shit, yeah, because they're only volunteers. They're going to be like, oh, look at this. Oh, this guy's running. He's turned his back so then you can run on as well. And if you get about 20 of us running around the pitch, we can point to David Sullivan and say, we want him out. This is enough. But
the other thing was,
let it get to the Aston Villa game
Yeah.
and lose that before we take action. We should take action before the game.
yeah,
Turn up at the
I think-
training ground. I know obviously
Yeah.
Sullivan probably doesn't go there, but turn up at the training ground with banners.
I think
The media will pick
Hammerhead.
it up.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see, but it ain't gonna be good, mate. Apparently, Hammerhead, confirming what Moyes said after the game to say that the fans have seen enough good football last 2 seasons to believe we can turn this around, mate. Crazy,
You said
mate.
this
Such
all
a
fucking
punchable
season,
face.
boys, and you've done nothing.
Yeah. JDM Joe, hope you're well, mate. No, apparently not. Not at the moment. No news at the moment, mate. Yeah, mate. Bob remembers Ginge losing his passport. Did you lose your passport? You didn't you, Ginge?
And
Did
me?
you lose? Yeah.
Yeah,
Wasn't it?
mate, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Bob remembers.
That's where you met
mate.
Ben Rom.
Yeah, it was, yeah. Yeah, I met
His little double ganger.
Yeah, I agree with this comment. I don't think Krotensky's going to buy the club,
I
mate.
don't think
He's
he'll
just
own the club. Who wants to own that fucking
no.
shit?
He's won a huge contract. I told you to build batteries now in the UK somewhere. So he's all over the place, mate. He's busy. Sullivan, yeah, mate.
Can I just address something to Ian Wilkins? I'm not saying that fans should run on the pitch. I'm just saying as an example that if you wanted to make a big enough protest stand during the game, instead of one person running on the pitch, if you're going to do it, fucking get a group of you. I don't condone it, but I'm just saying.
I don't think any of that.
I don't condone it, but I understand people doing it because that's the only way they fucking listen.
Well,
no,
it gets noticed with the media, and it's literally straight to the source. You're going straight to Sullivan. You're making a stand to the players. You're making a stand to Moyes. It may not be the right thing to do in hindsight, but what else are you going to do? Like they can sit there and drive past the banners and everything else.
Southampton 1-0 up. Southampton scored a 1-on-1.
Yeah, 1-0 up, weren't they? 1-0 up. So in the live standings, they've got 20-21. It's getting this kind of, if they win, then that turns the screw on Moyes even more. But what we're saying with the fans, everyone, is that we're not condoning getting on the pitch. What we're saying is, I think a lot of fans will leave early if we're losing to Villa. I think you'll see a lot of empty seats, well before the end of the game.
You do anyway. It's empty. It is empty. The stadium up high, down low where you can see. I mean, that is pretty packed out, but up, it's quite empty. Like you saw that photo that Frankie showed the other day. It's empty. It is empty. No one wants to be there. That dinosaur playing 5 defenders against. What was it that time when we were? I can't remember. We played.
It was 5 at the back and 3 CDMs in front.
On the pitch. Fuck me.
9, I think, if you include the goalkeeper. It was mad, mate. It was just Bowen and someone up front. It's
Bowen and
easy.
Antonio, I think it was, wasn't it?
Well, one up front and one behind, and the rest were just CDMs.
Out of form. Antonio, who's not even a striker. It's criminal.
Yeah.
But everyone will say we've been unlucky this season and we should have got a point against Chelsea and blame it all on that.
But you can't be unlucky throughout the whole course of a season. Yeah, we've been unlucky in certain individual moments of certain individual games, but we've not been unlucky for a season. It's just not good enough. And Moyes can't dig us out of it because he doesn't know what he's doing on the fucking day, let alone what he's going to do next week.
And the other day, he was mentioned in the same breath as Alex Ferguson and Arsene Wenger. And fuck me.
What was he planning on going to dinner with them or something?
I don't know. They just said about being the longest serving managers, and obviously he was in the same breath as them with that. But obviously,
I tell you what, right?
I'd fucking cry if I was them.
Ferguson done the right thing. He knew his players, his era of players, were aging, and the next crop of players just wasn't good enough for him. So he thought, you know what, fuck this, I'm out to save my legacy. Wenger, arguably, could have, even though he won some FA Cups. He won some cups in the last few years.
And he got a top 4 with Shamak up top.
Eventually, he was like, right, that's it, I'm done, let's go. Moyes was like, nah, give me another year, I'll sort it out. And then it'll get to like 8 years later, and he'll be like, 10 years ago, I gave you the 2 best seasons of your life. It's like, fuck
He,
off, mate.
yeah, he thinks he's saying that West Ham, be realistic, don't you know? This is about as good as you lot are, and just appreciate losing a few semi-finals here and there, isn't he? He's kind of down talking it all, isn't he? So Southampton have missed a penalty. Is that right?
Oh fucking hell! It's all going on.
They have. Ward-Prowse. Wow, he never misses a penalty. He missed a penalty, then 3 minutes later, it's 1-0, and in the lineup,
Got a 4-4-2 there playing with proper strikers. Maybe David Moyes can look at not even an actual manager who is playing strikers.
I mean, even Leicester, you got Maddison, Barnes, Iheanacho, not too bad at all, really. We're going to go through the comments, then we'll call it quits, and then let's just see what happens this evening, mate, with developments.
Nothing's going to happen though. We're all waiting for it. We all know nothing's going to happen. He'll be here till the end of the season, and we've all just got to be on this sinking ship until it. It's ridiculous.
It is an all-time low. It's a disgraceful 4-0 thrashing. Brighton played us off the pitch, absolutely embarrassed us in every way, and not even one player, I think, is going to get a rating of 3 out of 10 or 4 out of 10. It's nothing above that. Ings looked isolated. Johnson was mentally scarred. I think Moyes needed to protect him.
If it wasn't for Areola, with that fucking save that he tipped onto the bar, mate, it would have been even more embarrassing. So I'll give Areola 4.
6 or 7 today. If he wasn't in goal, if that was Fabianski, I think we lose 6 or 7. I
think, it was just all over the pitch. I mean, Skamaka, he didn't even come on. The last substitution he done was after 75 minutes. He put Lanzini on. I'm like, what?
That's how you know he's lost the plot, because he's bringing players on that he never uses. And he's thinking, fuck, and he's panicking. He's like, go on, boy, you try and do a job for me, because I don't know what else to do. That's
I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, and I'm the manager.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if you've got no hope, then...
I think, Chris, with this...
I'm surprised if Sullivan doesn't get fucking Dave Sullivan Jr. to come and manage the team.
I think, Chris, this comment, mate. I think a large percentage are season ticket holders, mate. The ground. That's why you see people.
That's it. That's the only thing. They've already paid.
They're stuck.
So all the season ticket holders that don't go anymore, they're going to think, I've got your money anyway.
I think a large percentage, Chris, are season ticket holders, mate.
Yeah.
So that's why they're kind of doing that kind of thing, mate. Paul, I'm not going to say yes or no, mate. I think it's going to be tight either way. The board are playing Russian roulette, mate, with the club. And if they do sell the club, imagine after going down, look at the state they've left the club. We've got no ground, hardly any training facilities. We've got to get relegated. Oh my God, how can they look at themselves? But they'll walk away with 500-600% profit. We know that, because I think they only paid about 100 to 150, 100, 200 million at the most for us, and they're looking at 600 million they want for the club. A club that they can't even borrow any more money because there's no assets to sell. So they've got this couple of friends they have in the Cayman Islands, in Bahamas, in Ireland, who lend them money. And then that's the way they get their money, because they don't want to dip into their own pockets. They're not that rich enough. They're the poorest.
That's why they use the club money to pay off the government.
Yeah. That's what they do.
Was it 9 million?
Well, they're hoping that they're going to get a little bit of money for Rice and see what we do with that, mate.
I think he's. From what I've just been reading, I think he'll be gone tonight.
What have you just read?
It makes you say that. Saying about the. It's not like a reliable source, but it's saying the board are going to have a discussion about the future of David Moyes. But it's not from a reliable source at all. It's just
someone just clickbaiting to get and interactions.
Are they saying okay? Does it go further and says is that meeting tonight or tomorrow?
No, it just says they are apparently going to have discussions over the weekend about the future of David Moyes.
Yeah, and they're going to say, we'll keep him on until the summer.
3 games? You've got 3 games, David. You've got 3 games.
Famous 3 games.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, they're going to have to give him, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 million plus. As you know, they've never
brought a
manager in.
So what? We're going
couple of years left. Year and a half. Couple of years.
You know
left.
that every single time we've not changed. The other 2 times, but the only 2 when we've not changed our manager, we've gone down. That was Avram Grant. But the other times that we've changed our manager, we've never gone down. So
But we've all the managers of Sullivan and Gold have brought in. They've always been three. They don't like paying compensation. They don't like getting managers
But the
away
thing
from
is,
their
right,
current clubs.
This is from a business perspective, yeah. You pay him 7 million to fuck off, right? Or you lose 207 million if we get relegated, and then some. So because you devalue the club, so you won't get any from that. But I'm on about the players that go that are going to leave. The amount of money
And
you
you're
spend
losing.
on those players.
The 180 million is going to be halved that you spent. Like they are.
It's going to be quarter.
Business-wise, they are fucking idiots.
That's what I mean. So the 180 million that you spent plus even more than that, yeah, you're then going to be in a deficit. Yeah, so
I think
you spend another 7 million just to get rid of the manager and save the club, even if you don't like fucking West Ham, Sullivan. Just do the right thing. Because this helps you in the long run.
Stupid.
I think Rafa's going to come in because he's available. I think.
Oh, I don't want Rafa either. He sits back as well.
I'd rather have Chris Powell.
No, but what it is, they're going to go for someone who's available. Because they're going to have to pay Moyes off, aren't they? They're not going to pay Moyes off and pay for a manager and get him out of their club.
What does he deserve? You don't get nothing, mate. Fuck off. Get out of my club. There's your contract. See you later.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So
I know what they could do because they like doing this. Pay it off in instalments.
Yeah, over 7 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's $1 million a year sorted.
To be fair, I'll be set with $1 million a year for 7 years. I think you'll be fine.
Do you know what I mean? It's just like the politicians, isn't it? As soon as they come out of power, they're set up for life.
Right, everyone, it is what it is. We've been going live for nearly 1.5 hours. I need to go out and, well, go out and have a good time, basically, to forget what I've just seen today. So I hope you lads, thank you both for joining in. And Ginger, your audio quality was very good. Very impressed. You've done your homework. You went and improved
I'm absolutely fuming and I'm actually shouting at the speaker.
Yeah.
Ginger's done really well in his homework. I'll give him a B+. He's done really well. Ryan, thanks for joining.
That's all right.
I think soon as we finish, I'm probably going to grab another rum. Ginger's probably got some beer in the fridge somewhere.
I'm looking up his coordinates right now. See where he's at.
Toilet, mate. He's in the toilet.
Yeah. Got to get my crowbar quickly.
Do you remember the funny story of when they sacked, was it Avram Grant at the end, and then he didn't know how to go home because I think Karen Brady sacked Avram Grant after he went down in virtually there and then outside the dressing room.
On the coach, didn't they?
And Scott Parker's like, "No, come on, no, come on, we'll take you back."
They made him get a taxi home.
No, Scott Parker said, "No, we're not like that. We're not." He goes, "We're not like that. Come with us." Like that must have been. And you know what Avram Grant allegedly used to do? Everyone, he used to go into those bars, didn't he? The ladies' bars, didn't he? In the evenings and stuff. That's where he was seen in London all the time. He's a weird bloke, mate, Avram Grant.
I'm sick and tired of getting these ex-Chelsea players and managers that just don't give a shit about West Ham. Just get someone else in. Anyone's got to be better than Moyes. Anyone that's up to date with the modern game, even if they're not proven, even if their resume is not the fucking greatest.
We'll still get him in.
We need someone with passion that's just going to turn around and say, right, lads, this is my philosophy. This is my aim. I want you to all work with this. And in the meantime, these players should not be kicking a ball. They should be doing drills to work for each other.
Can't we somehow get Noble as our manager? Just till the end of the season.
Surely, if I'm Noble, right, I'm going.
I don't know if he's got the badges. I don't know how it works out.
I don't care.
But,
sure.
But it doesn't matter if he's got the badges. That's not that important because we will be fined 12,500 every game, right? But if you've got to think about it as like we've got what? So we've got 13 games left. That they're going to lose over 200 million. Why wouldn't you just pay 12 grand each? That's nothing to them. That's nothing. So why would you not just pay that?
I think Rafa's coming in. Everyone, I think it's Rafa. I think he was seen in one of the channels. I think either it was a Man United game or one of them. He was on one of the channels this week. I don't know if he lives in London or actually he does. Yeah, he's got a house in London, house in Barcelona. No, that's Poch. Sorry, that's Poch. Got confused with him. Poch is going Chelsea. I heard, Ginge. I think he's going Chelsea.
Poch's going Tottenham.
Oh, is he? Okay.
He's going to go Tottenham.
Yeah. Well, as far as I've heard, he's not signed a contract yet, but as of Boxing Day, I heard that from someone that's a PA at Tottenham, they've had the contract at Tottenham already with Pochettino's name all over it, and it's there waiting to be signed. Because obviously Conte's contract is up at the summer, and they don't know whether they're going to renew it, depending on obviously Poch, and they want Poch back, and it all depends whether Poch signs a contract. But it's all written up, ready. But he's already turned around to him verbally and said, "I would come back."
Man City game, was it? Yeah, I did hear that he was doing the commentary or in the reviewing the game afterwards in the studio, mate. But I think there's going to be some changes. I cannot see how you can pick up the club or certainly the players for the Villa game. Villa, you do not want to play Villa at the moment. They're doing very, very well under the new manager. Difficult game. And I think when you're home, I think the pressure's on a bit more. The fans are going to expect something 100%. From Moisey. You know, Moisey better put a helmet on, mate, for that game. Sit down there.
Yeah. The last home game, right? You don't hear the fans, yeah? And
you don't. It's so silent. It's so... I was at it. It was silent.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I was watching it on telly, and even the commentators are saying there's no sound from the West Ham fans at all, because one, they're all fucked off. Right.
Ginge, who do you want who do you want as manager, Ginge? Do you want Lampard? Do you want the Brighton boss? I think he'll probably end up at Chelsea. He's on their list as well. I don't know. He looked good, the Brighton guy, didn't he? Obviously, good
what, Deserby?
The one, the young
one that's banned today. So look, right, this is another point. We get rolled over by Tottenham, who don't have a manager. He's not even in the same fucking country.
Oh my
we
God,
got rolled over, literally spanked. We got our pants pulled down and spanked in their arse, right, by a team that doesn't even have a manager in the dugout. That's two teams we've been rolled over, and they didn't have their manager on the day.
What about Silva at Fulham? A lot of people saying he's in terms of manager of the year.
He's not going to leave Fulham.
I wanted him at the start. He's such a good manager. He's so good.
Yeah.
He's not. Let's be realistic. He's not going to want to leave Fulham.
No.
But bearing in mind, Fulham are another.
I think they would. I think he would, Ginge. If we sell him, he would come. Fulham, West Ham.
But who's going to sell him it?
Maybe in the summer, Jazz, but not right now.
Yeah, mate. That's the problem. We left it too late.
If he gets Fulham, Europe.
We left it too late, mate. I know you've got the Sporting Lisbon, but when I looked at league table, Sporting Lisbon have come down a lot. They're not doing that well this season. I don't know what's up. We spoke about the Fiorentina manager. He wouldn't leave because they're top of the league. No, sorry, not Fiorentina.
I'll tell you who we need, right? But we won't get
the Dutch guy.
Is Vincent
Feyenoord manager.
Yeah,
sorry?
Vincent Kompany would be great.
Vincent Kompany, right, would go in there and he won't take no shit. He would go in there and say, "Your shit, your shit, your shit, your shit." And he'll lay everyone out verbally.
And we get Roy Keane as his assistant as well. Mate. Fucking love it.
Mate, he ain't West Ham as it is, so he'd love pointing fingers.
I tell you what, Vincent Kompany's...
Gary Neville in there as well, because he was saying,
I'd love to have Roy Keane as our manager right now.
But Vincent Kompany's go-to man... Yeah, Vincent Kompany's go-to man is Josh Cullen. He loves him. Bought him to Tuchel, from Anderlecht, took him there. Lovely. He loves it. But what type of football does Vincent Kompany play? Did anyone know? Or?
Really, it's like attacking football.
Yeah, it is attacking. It is nice football.
His right back, sort of covers across to play as a centre back, and his left wing back is really, really attacking. He plays as a left wing back. He plays some good football.
And then you got the one you were mentioning, Ryan, in France, isn't it? It keeps young Chapman.
Big up Will Still. Sports West Ham. Just get him in.
Interesting, mate. But we'll see what happens. But I think he has gone, everyone. I think he's gone. Monday, I think he's gone.
Yeah.
And I think because it take him a couple of days to get the new guy in, and I think he'll be
get Roy Keane in to push
Monday morning.
Yeah, Roy Keane, Vincent Kompany, and Di Canio.
And get Eric Cantona to drop kick Moyes.
Yes.
I thought. Why not? We'll see what happens, mate. But you two have it.
Who he's just put in. I don't want it.
See, I don't know. I mean, listen.
They're basically playing in League One. The Scottish League is awful.
Oh wow, is that what Pep thinks of Kompany that highly? I think the Vieira's doing a good job at Palace. Patrick Vieira, a lot of respect there for him as well. Di Canio bitch slapping. Anyway, we're going to call it a close. So give a bit of evening back to you two guys. So thanks for joining in, and we might do something tomorrow's show. Depends on what breaking. Maybe Frank. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Have you ever seen that scene from Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels with Ratchet Harry? Right, this is what David Moyes should do. He he should grab the biggest dildo he sees and slap David Moyes with it.
And on that note, Ryan and Ginge, take care, mate.
You
Take
too.
care, and thanks for everyone in the chat for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't. Have a great evening. Cheers, lads.
Moyes out.
Thank you.